is a so-called conservative Democrat or a progressive Democrat or anything along those lines?
Jack Conway, he's a conservative Democrat.
And when you put cap and trade up against those criteria, it fails.
I am opposed to cap and trade. I'm opposed to cap and trade.
Surface mining means jobs. It means cheap electricity. As long as you focus on land use, and you make certain that before you get a permit, you have a proper land use that's going to be put in place after that's done. That's what you need to focus on. That's what we're focusing on in West Virginia. That's what you ought to be focused on in Kentucky. And if the land use is going to be proper, if we're going to treat the land the right way, you know what? Let's stay with it. Let's mine Kentucky coal, and let's get the permits out fast. And that's the way I'm going to treat this issue when I'm in the United States Senate.
I support the President on Iraq. I support our Commander-in-Chief in the area of foreign affairs. I'm glad we went through this process. President Bush went to the Congress. He asked for authorization to continue the war on terror by going into Iraq. I'm glad we had the process with Congress. I'm glad that Congress asked him to work with our strategic international partners. He asked him to work with the UN. I think we should go to the UN, get as many partners as we can, hopefully the entire Security Council, and then move forward against Saddam Hussein. You have to reach across the aisle in situations like this, and I would have been among the 40% of Democrats that voted for the resolution on Iraq. I think that this is no time to be raising taxes. In a recession like this is no time to be raising taxes, and we ought to just extend them for some period of time. Have to see what that is. I don't know, 5, 8, 10 years, something like that, but they ought to be extended for some period of time.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, how you doing?
If you're elected, what about medical marijuana? What are you going to do about it?
I'm not for it.
You're not for it?
No, I'm not for it. We need the federal government, the United States Congress, and the federal government to step up and do its job on immigration, because they haven't been doing it. We're talking about what it means to be a United States citizen. That's the responsibility of the United States government. And the United States government, and Congress in particular, needs to step up and address the issue because they've completely shirked their responsibility. There is not enough manpower, and that's a huge, huge problem. So we need immigration reform that's tough, that makes certain that those that are here illegally go to the back of the line and don't cut the line in front of those that are actually here for legitimate reasons.
Well, traffic certainly will part when Vice President Joe Biden is escorted from Kentucky to Indiana Monday, and there's no question some political heavy hitters will be at both locations. But there will also be some notable players missing. Candidate and Kentucky Attorney General Jack Conway will not.
Here's an instance where I'm being independent for Kentucky and breaking with the administration, and I will always do that when I'm your next United States Senator.